So unfortunately, the event that was supposed to be taking place at PCAR today was postponed. The good news is we have another fantastic one coming up in the month of July. It's going to be Ricky Carruth. Ricky Carruth will be here, and so he'll be speaking on how to work with sellers, PCAR, bring your friends, bring realtor friends, and have a great time. We're also in the process of potentially doing an after party with Ricky, where lunch will be provided, details to follow. Any questions on that event? No? All right. So real quick, some of you who are in the room, you may be munching on some bagels. The reason for those bagels is Joseph. So everybody, please welcome to the front of the room, Mr. Joseph with Simply Chic.
You were supposed to have my wife come. She's prettier than me, and she got called out. One of our stagers called in sick, and we're working on a 4,000 square foot house in Loomis. It's going to go on probably tomorrow or Friday. So check that one out. It's been on the market actually for, I believe, a year, completely vacant. So we came in and staged every single room. So 5 bedrooms and 2 massive living rooms. So it's going to look real nice. But she would be dazzling you and all that fun stuff. I'm a numbers guy. I do the back end, all the business side, and she's the creative. So you guys get to be bored by me too. But I just want to. We met Johnny YPN event.
Yeah.
And she promised that she'd come in first stage. She second, but we have some flyers. It's a family-owned business. I joined her last year. I got bought out of one of my businesses, and I joined her, and we've been expanding like crazy. We'll be on our 500 stage this year out of 3 years in business. And that's coming from she started off in marketing. She was working for the Perot's team. So it's pretty impressive what she's done in that time frame. The first house we did took 3 days to stage. It was 1,800 square foot, and I painted a table with chocolate. So it's pretty amazing. We have enough for 40 houses right now.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool business that she's actually expanded. So a little bit about what we do. She's the design portion. She does everything from vacant to occupied. Occupied is a little bit slower now because we're so busy. I think we've done 14 homes already this month, and that's pretty impressive for June. So there's a lot more inventory coming up, and that's a good thing. And I don't know if you guys are seeing it, but we're seeing a lot more on our end. So our vacant staging starts off at 2,100, and it goes up depending on how many rooms and how big the house is. So I have cards back there. If you need to reach out for me. I'll give you a quote, and then I'll take you through the whole process on what we do, how we do it. So typically we do 60-day contracts, and we could do more if you request it. So anyone in here stage homes yet?
In the past? Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's a value. I mean, it's huge value. Believe 88% chance of selling your home faster when you do stage, which is really neat. And our costs are really low. We're mostly on the volume side. So we're trying to get to 40 a month in the Sacramento area, and then we're branching out to the Bay Area. So once we get to the 40, we're going to go back to where I'm from, which is the Bay Area, and start working out there. So please help me get there, because I want to get to the Bay Area. But any questions for me?
So what areas do you not cover? Like, where's too far right now?
I'm not going, well, the farthest we've gone was Modesto.
Oh,
So we do Modesto, obviously, now. We do Tahoe. We just did a VRBO in Tahoe, and that's another thing. We do VRBOs and design. So we're working on 4 design clients right now, which is a full house design. So we're doing everything from like what silverware this guy has in his house. It's kind of crazy. So we have a lot of different options. So Modesto, and we'll go to the Bay Area. I'll go all the way to San Jose right now.
okay.
So just let me know all the way up to, we've done Oroville and a little, Paradise, I believe we did.
Okay. So really no place is too far.
Yeah, we own our own trucks,
Oh,
which
wow.
is a huge benefit too. So we're not charging mileage.
Mm.
We do have a drive time adder if it's farther away, but it's less than. So yeah, we'll go anywhere. Yeah.
So you do work, I'm sorry, you do vacants homes as well as occupied homes?
Yes, we're slowing down right now with the occupied because of the summer.
Okay.
But just call us
Okay.
and sometimes we can fit them in.
But you'll do consultation.
Oh, yes, we do
And
consultation.
your consultation income,
We're at 250 and that can be rolled into,
so that'll be applied towards the
yes.
staging job if we do, what are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good question. Good question, Clark.
What's a good script for a person that
Don.
doesn't think they need to use a stager?
I've got one.
Let's hear it from the legend.
Here we go.
Can you stand up, Tom, so we can see on screen?
What we do know is homes that are staged properly, they take better photos, they look better online, and you can get more money for them. So, sign here.
You're hired. Come with me, we're going to another.
He's not exaggerating. I've heard him do that at least 24 times.
No, it's impressive. So with her consultation, this is something that we're trying to figure out like the best way to not make the client feel bad about what they own and make it easy for the real estate agents so they don't have to feel bad about taking something out. My wife will walk around with tape on her wrist and tape everything and just go to town, taping everything she can. Everything with blue tape, remove. So you guys don't have to, I mean, you could tell her what you want tape, and she'll go in there and tape everything. I mean, dogs, cats, whatever it is. Tape.
Yeah.
So,
One of the things that I really appreciate is your expertise on the numbers,
yeah,
and sometimes it's hard for us as agents to say, okay, this is why, because they think we're trying to sell them whatever. But when an expert comes in and says, okay, statistically, here's why your home's gonna sell, and do you guys do that with stats and?
we do. Like, we have all the stats. If you want to email me, I have the whole list. I don't know why I didn't bring it. I usually drive.
You brought bagels, so we can't.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I usually drive the minivan and my wife takes the Tesla, but we switched cars, so. Yeah, I don't have all my paperwork,
So
but
reach out to.
reach out to me and I can get you all the stats. And if you need me to, you could call me while you're in the house. I've been in sales for 25 years and ran sales teams, so I'll help you close it over the phone. I can do that. I'm well versed with that a lot of times, so. Anything you guys need, I can help.
All right, last question.
Yeah, really, I was just gonna add on to that comment. I think testimonials of people you've had success with probably goes a long way. I know it does for me. I've got some good ones.
Mhm.
And our biggest story that we've had is that we've had a lot of homes that just could not sell. We go in, we just furnish either the kitchen, the living room, the like a master bedroom, and just the minimal staging, and it sells that weekend.
Yeah.
So it's very important. And like I said, any questions or concerns, please reach out to us. Me or my wife will answer the phone and we'll get down to it for you. Okay?
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks for bringing
Yeah,
the
thank you.
bagels. All right, guys. Another question? All right, real quick, where is the man? JJ, you mind coming up, giving us a book lender update?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so good to see you guys. I'm JJ Mack. I work with American Pacific Mortgage. Been working with them for about 14 years. And I wanted to ask you all in here, how many of you are real estate agents? Like 90% of the room. Awesome. So let's just say you had a listing and you're meeting with your client today and you had 3 offers on that listing. One of them credit union, one of them internet bank, and the last one was going to be a local lender. Maybe they have the full underwriting approval done. Which one would you tell your client would be the best option to go with?
Local fella.
Local guy. Why is that? Why do we think a local guy is the best? Why not the credit union? There's probably a lot of answers to that, right?
Mhm.
You know, oh, he's going to get done in time. Oh, he's going to make sure that he gets the best deal. And there's, I'm going to have communication with him. But what does all that stuff actually mean? All of it means that we actually care about the client. So that way, when you or your client calls on Saturday or Sunday or Friday night or 7 a.m. in the morning, I need to get this offer in. I need to do everything I can. We're going to care about your client, right? And so that's what it's all about, is caring. Now, when you're working with these clients, more than likely you probably have a lender that you try and send it to, a local lender. A lot of times that can be difficult, but if you can explain to them that it's more about being caring to them, why is it that I can't just go on my internet now, bing, bang, boom, here's my pre-approval letter 8 seconds later? Well, you can do that. But what does that look like to you? Does that seem very caring?
No,
Did they go through any of that to get you the best possible outcome that they possibly could?
no.
Probably not. And so the reason that I am where I him is because I care about my clients. We care about our clients, American Pacific. Shannon Hoff is also here, amazing lender. So if you guys have anything that you need, I do want to share one more statistic with you. That's super important. In 2030, they're saying that 40% of single family homes are going to be owned by institutional investors. So what does that mean to us all?
Sucks.
It does suck. So that means that prices are going to continue to go up because of that reason, and rent prices are going to continue to skyrocket. So what do we need to do for realtors and lenders that care about our clients is to get them into homes now. If you care about your clients and you want them to buy homes now versus in 2030, well, I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off until rates come down. Well, you can do that, but what's going to happen to the market? So if you really care about your clients, make sure you're pairing them with a local lender that cares with them just as much as you do. So that way, by the time the deal is over, they're so happy, they're going to come back to you. They're going to have the equity in them in their homes in the next couple of years, and it's going to be a very good thing. So care about your clients. I thought this would be a good opener for me as the first time being here, and I'll definitely look forward to being here in the future and talking about loan programs and speed and all that other stuff. But I thought this would be a great opening, just letting you know how local lenders care and we want the best for your clients. So,
Absolutely, real quick,
Yeah,
JJ,
of
so
course.
you were working with, so he had a client, had trouble getting an offer accepted. They ended up moving the client over to you, and what happened?
So yeah, absolutely. So this has been something that happens often, right? You know, you deal with a client, you have a tough time with that client. They can't get the offer accepted, mostly because in this particular situation, it was contingent on selling their home. So they weren't able to get that offer accepted. I don't know, Haley probably knows, probably 4 or 5 offers later, they're getting tired. They're thinking, maybe we just don't need to do anything at this point. Well, hold on, let's see what other options there are. Again, they didn't care about the client. So now come over here. Let's see what options you have. Well, let's sell your house first. You guys make plenty of money. You're retired. You have a pension. You got all this stuff. Keep your home for the time being. Let's write an offer, non-contingent. It worked out. First offer accepted, super happy, closed 21 days, no big deal. Now they go put their house back on the market, it sells, everybody's happy.
Yep.
So another reason why going with another lender might not have known what that would look like, but going with a local lender can sit down with you, share the options, make sure that they're being cared for just as much as you as a realtor care about your clients as well.
Fantastic. What's your best phone number, JJ?
Yeah, so my number is 916-390-2463. That's my cell phone. And but yeah, I'm really happy to be here. And if you guys, I think I've tried to meet all of you before, but if you want to get to know me, I'll be sticking around a little bit and be around. So looking forward to meeting you all.
Awesome. Thank you, JJ. Round of applause again. All right, so our next speaker for today is going to be Steve and Kevin with Done For You Real Estate. They are online. Brent actually recommended these guys. He's like, Johnny, you have to have these people speak at a team meeting. They are phenomenal. I'm like, sure, Brent, whatever you say. Let me talk to them first. And then I heard them for like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh, you need to speak at this team meeting. So Steve, Kevin, please come off mute and we'll make you co-hosts. And what do you have for the team today?
Hey, John, thanks so much for allowing us to come and speak with your team today. We're super excited to get to know you guys and share just a little bit about what it is that we do. My name is Steve Earle. I'm the CEO of a company that we call Done For You Real Estate USA. I am an associate broker with EXP as of April 1st, 2023. So it's been just over 2 months. And in the first 2 months, it's been awesome. I love being a part of EXP. I researched it for a long time. One of our clients introduced me to the concept several years ago, and I've been to actually multiple events over the last couple of years. And we finally got to the point where we pulled the trigger. We came on as an EXP solutions provider, as well as, I'm a regular associate broker with EXP. This is my partner, Kevin Clayson. He's here with us today. I'm going to kind of introduce him a little bit, but we're really excited to share with you what we're doing because, we're in a time in the market where transactions literally have been cut in half for many agents. Some of you are probably still crushing it, and I'm glad for you and happy for you. But most of us have had our transactions drop a little bit. In the last 2 months since I joined EXP, I was able to cap in the first 18 days, and about 23 days after that, I iconed. And I'm looking forward to sharing with you what it is that we do, because I believe that what we have to offer you can increase your transactions significantly. What we do as a company, kind of how we got started, we're 100% single family home investment real estate company. And I think it was JJ who just mentioned, he was up at the front talking about mortgages and so on. He mentioned all these institutional buyers, how they're kind of taking over the market. We really compete against those guys. We bring real estate investing down to the street level for Main Street individuals. And so I'll just share just super quickly how we got started, what it is that we do, and then Kevin's going to kind of run with a few things, because we're going to talk about the market, the situation that we're currently in. You probably have a lot of your clients saying, hey, I don't want to buy right now because interest rates are high, prices have gone up, rents are low. Well, we are going to share with you today some information that will help you understand and see that we believe that there's never been a better time to invest in single family properties than today, in today's market. And we'll share with you why we believe that. But back in 2004, I come from the construction industry. I sold that company, became a full-time real estate investor. I was finding more deals than I could buy. And so I got my real estate license, started helping my friends and family do the same thing that I was doing. Very quickly, became the top agent in the brokerage where I was an agent, doing nothing but helping buyers. I didn't do any listings at all. And I was just helping them invest in properties. This is the one thing that all of us, most Americans, probably 90% of all Americans, if you talk to them about real estate investing, they're going to talk to you. Everybody is interested in real estate investing. It's the easiest conversation to have. You just need to know what that conversation is. And so I got going. After 3 years, became that top agent, decided to start my own brokerage. I met Kevin. We started up, we actually started the brokerage together. He was in the mortgage industry, and then we bought a mortgage company. Then we started an insurance company, and then we started this marketing and education company. We become a one-stop shop for our customers. We've now been doing this for 15 years. We've completed well over 5,000 single family home investment purchase transactions over that time, over $1 billion of real estate. We have clients in almost every state in the nation, and we have very specific markets where we buy. And what we do is we help regular, ordinary Americans buy in the best markets, and we've identified the types of properties that make sense to create cash flow and massive benefit over the course of 5 to 7 years. And I'll kind of explain to you what it is that we do by sharing with you just a really quick story. I'm going to take 3 minutes. Kevin, cut me off if I take more than 3 minutes. This is kind of a very typical story, but I'm going to make it very personal, because I'm going to share the story of my own son, because this illustrates really well what we do for our clients. So when my son was about 16, he was working for Kevin and I and for our company. He was doing real estate, some research for us. He came to me and said, hey, Dad, I want one of these game plans. I want to buy some real estate. I was like, well, you need to save some money for a down payment. And so over the next actually almost 4 years, he saved up enough money for a down payment. Now, this was 2011, right after the crash. And so real estate was on sale. We're located in Utah, but one of the markets that we went into was Phoenix, Arizona. Prices had dropped significantly. We helped my son buy a property for about $86,000. He put 20% down, had a little bit of money for fix up. That property cash flowed about $400 per month. 2 years later, he came to me, he was like, hey, Dad, it's like, I want to go to college now. Should I sell my home, take that money and go to college? I was like, well, what's your goal with real estate? And he said, well, I want to ultimately own 8 properties. Like, I want to be an investor that owns 8 properties. So I said, great, don't sell it, just refinance it, because I had your home recently appraised and it's increased in value about $72,000. So instead of selling it, spending that money on college, he refinanced it. He bought 2 more homes. One of the homes that he bought was a duplex. He got married during that time. Him and his wife lived in the basement, rented the upstairs. They lived for free, bought a second investment property. 4 years later, he graduates from college, goes off to law school, completes law school 3 years later. His properties had increased in equity. He's got the cash flow. So he sells another one and refinances another one, and he buys 3 more, and then he buys a primary. Now he's got his 8 properties. It's now been about 2.5 years since he graduated from college. So he started investing when he was 20 years old. He's now 31 years old. It's been 11 years. He's taken that one investment of $20,000. And a few months ago, I was talking to his wife. I was like, hey, Sandy, have you ever figured out how much equity you have in your properties that you own? And she's like, she knew exactly because she manages them. And by the way, these properties are owned in Arizona, Utah, Memphis, and Florida. And so they're all over the country. And anyways, she's like, yeah, I know exactly, $924,000. So in 11 years, my son took one property with a $20,000 investment, was able to take that and turn it into 8 properties with equity of almost $1 million. Now, I tell you that story because like that's not an anomaly, and it's not because he happened to buy at the right time. We have investors that got started in 2007 who bought right at the peak of the market. Their properties got cut in half. And we'll share with you the strategy, which is a buy and hold strategy of 5 to 7 years. They held onto those properties. Those became some of the best investments that they ever made. And they bought at the peak of the market in 2007 to 2008. And now those properties, they've taken those, turned into 2, turned 2 to 2, and have turned 2 into 4. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of clients who have done exactly this very thing. Our goal for our clients is to help them create a 10 property portfolio. So I'm just kind of I share that story because in a nutshell, that is what we do. We are a one-stop shop. We find the property, we negotiate the deal, we provide the financing, we provide the rehab, we provide the property management, and then we stick with our clients long-term on a regular basis, working with them to help them build this portfolio. More than 75% of our business is simply repeat customers and referrals. So that's kind of who we are, what we do, the story of our company. And Kim's going to talk a little bit about like today, like many agents and many individuals are like, I'm just going to kind of press pause and I'm not going to invest in real estate right now because this is a horrible time to be buying. Interest rates are high. I can't cash flow, so on and so forth. So Kev, do you want to chat a little bit about that for a minute?
Yeah, you bet. So first of all, hi, everybody. How are you? I can see you wave to me, so I know that you are hearing me not asleep. Yay, that's good. Steve often puts people to sleep, so I just wanted to make sure.
That is
I'm
true.
kidding. It's phenomenal. So my name is Kevin Clayson. Super excited to be here. Thank you guys so much for having us. And I appreciate what Steve just shared. So really, what we've tried to do at Done For You Real Estate is we've tried to become the definitive solution for busy, successful people who want to own all the benefits of investment real estate, but they don't have the time and expertise to do it on their own. Now, why that's, I think, relevant to you all is, and Steve mentioned this, so EXP has recently brought us on as a trusted solution provider. To our knowledge, we're the only solutions provider in the company that facilitates single-family investment real estate kind of at scale across the country. And Steve mentioned as well, we believe that our primary goal and what we all can do kind of together is just, we can kind of combat what JJ was talking about with the institutional buyers. You know, I always love to tell everybody, you know, I'll go and I'll present somewhere and I'll ask everybody in the room. By the way, you guys can use this. It's phenomenal. If you're doing a real estate seminar, I love asking this question. I'll ask everybody, how many of you are currently in real estate? And some people raise their hand, and then I say, wrong, everybody's in real estate. You're either on the side of real estate that's making you money or on the side of real estate that's making someone else money, but you're in real estate. And we feel like we've got something that takes the average person, the Main Street investor, and kind of mainstreams this idea of real estate investment. And one of the things we thought would be helpful today to kind of come on and hang out with you guys is because all we do all day, every day, is we have conversations with Main Street type investors and help them kind of get off of the fence of, ooh, I don't know if I should invest. Should I be moving forward? And we are closing transactions every single day on simple and conservative single family properties. Now, one of the things that is cool, and I think why EXP brought us on, is we have a really simple way that we can farm referrals from anybody. If you've got investors that are like, oh, I'd love to buy real estate, but I don't know if California is the right place for me to invest, or wherever they might live, there's a way that you can refer them to a company like ours, and you'll get paid on every transaction those people do in perpetuity, but we do all of the work, right? So we'll onboard them, we'll put a game plan together for them, we'll find them the property, we'll get them the financing, we'll get the property insured, we'll get it fixed up, we'll get it managed, but then you'll make commissions on those properties kind of in perpetuity. Our average client is buying 3 to 5 properties within their first 5 to 7 years. And so we found a way to kind of increase the number of transactions by just turning up the heat on. It's not about just buying a piece of real estate. It's about buying a piece of real estate. And like Steve talked about with Dallin, it's about leveraging that real estate to sort of organically grow a portfolio. And so having that conversation with people right now has been really, really effective. One of the things that we love to share with people is when people are kind of curious as to whether or not they want to jump into real estate, one of my favorite analogies to share that we found a lot of success with, so please rip it off, is since you guys are all, at least everybody in the room, you guys are all in California, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm from the Bay Area originally. I'm from just outside of Oakland. I'm from San Leandro. So I grew up an Oakland Athletics fan. And one of my favorite stories, you guys remember the movie Moneyball with Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill? Like, as Californians, we have to know that movie, right? So I love that movie, but I love the principles of that movie for real estate investing. So a lot of times what we found, and really where we cut our teeth in the industry, the reason we started our company from the get-go was primarily because if you look at like 2006, 2007, and I would say there's a resurgence of it today, there's this emphasis on go get educated, go get real estate education. And I don't know, maybe some of you have been to real estate seminars, or clients that you work with have been to real estate seminars, and they go spend thousands of dollars to get an education, but then they don't do real estate. Does anybody know what I'm talking about here? Somebody will go and spend all that money on coaching, and then they just go, I don't know what to do. We wanted to become the definitive solution to help people actually physically do real estate, not just think about it and not just learn about it. And we thought the best way to do that is to do 95% of the work for them, but still allow them to make 100% of the profit, to take title to the property, to make 100% of the tax benefits and the appreciation. And that's ultimately what we've been able to facilitate. So when we have clients that come and find us or that are interested in real estate investing, so many of us have been conditioned to the idea that like, you got to go big or go home, right? I mean, we all read Grant Cardone and we're like, I'm going to 10X everything. And so we feel like we want to go and do 1,000 doors. And sometimes the average Main Street investor that knows they have to rely on something other than traditional retirement, they would love to do real estate, but they have no idea how to break in. If they're there in California, they start to do the math of what would 25% down be on a $1.2 million property or whatever the pricing might be. And they go, holy cow, that's a lot. The homes that we're doing with our clients across the country are generally around like $250,000 to $300,000. So all of a sudden now you're 25% down, plus closing costs and whatever, and some rehab is extremely reasonable compared to investing in a market where prices have kind of gone up and up, which is kind of what's happened to us here in Utah even, which is why we don't do investment real estate in Utah with our clients. We're in all of these other markets. But when we explain the idea of Moneyball, that it's about hitting real estate singles, that it's not about getting to the plate and just knocking it over the fence, but it's about simple and conservative real estate done the right way, in the right set of conditions, in a market where you're going to attract good tenants, in a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage home in a suburban type area, in a state that has a tax-friendly environment and is a business-friendly environment. And now you can go and we can do the majority of the work for you on that property, but you can sit back and benefit from all the financial gain. Because as you guys know, I mean, real estate's one of the only things that has multiple profit centers in it, as opposed to just the market goes up or goes down. And so we'll explain to them that what we help people do is we help people hit real estate singles. If we could just get on base, then and we can cash flow a little bit, then we prepare to just hit another single. And if you hit enough singles with enough consistency over a long enough period of time, you're going to win every single game. It's the money ball mentality. And I'll just kind of comment on this, and you guys can probably relate to this. A lot of these people that are out there wanting to do real estate investing, they've bought a book or they've gone to a course and they've heard somebody say, use the Babe Ruth analogy, right? And gurus love to use the Babe Ruth analogy because it's like, he, not only did he lead the league in home runs, he also led the league in what? I know you guys have all heard it. What else did he lead the league in? Strikeouts. And so we love to use that. We say, so sometimes you connect, sometimes you don't. Here's why we don't think that works for the average person when it comes to real estate investing. Because when somebody gets to the plate and they're looking for that perfect pitch and they're thinking they're going to hit it over the fence, if they strike out, like they get a property that doesn't work, that's a total bust, that does not produce for them, they may not have enough capital to get back to the plate. Babe Ruth didn't risk it all. Yes, he swung for the fences. He led the league in strikeouts, but he knew that if he struck out, so if he connects, he hits it over the fence. If he strikes out, he's got another at bat coming not too far from now. For most people out there, right, the average middle class, middle income American who knows that traditional retirement doesn't cut it, they don't know what to do, but they know they want real estate. If we can help shift their mindset to see that if all you do is go hit a real estate single, if you just connect, and if you do the right kind of real estate in the right market with the right set of conditions, now all of a sudden you're on the side of the equation where you're making money on real estate as opposed to making somebody else money in real estate. Steve, anything you want to add to that before we kind of move on to the second part of the conversation?
Yeah, no, that's a great explanation. I think we got about 10 minutes left, so let's jump into current market.
Yeah, so we have 10 minutes left. I'm only going to take another 2.5 hours. Johnny, is that okay? 2.5 hours. You guys good for another? 2.5. Is that good? Just kidding.
It's not about a little hours. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. So, okay. So if you look at the current market, right, we all kind of know what's going on out there. And what we found is in having this Moneyball conversation with our clients, we're helping them understand a couple things. Number one, you'll succeed in real estate if you can think countercyclically, right? That's kind of Warren Buffett 101. And so we know that there's still pent-up demand. We know that there's people that want to own real estate, but they're sort of fearful of what's going to happen in the market. But if we can shift their mindset to long-term gains in real estate as opposed to short-term gains, people could be pretty excited about taking a step forward. One of the things that we've been facing lately is people are concerned because if you go buy, think of traditional mentality with investment real estate, right? I buy a property, if I'm financing it, somebody else is paying the rent and I want to be cash flow positive, right? For the most part, nobody goes and gets into real estate unless you're going to be cash flow positive. But it's interesting because all of us as real estate professionals or as real estate investors, we've all, by the way, been conditioned to believe that if something is not positive cash flow, we probably shouldn't take action on it. Am I wrong? Has anybody disagree with that? We've all kind of been taught like it's got a cash flow, especially from an investment standpoint. This is a conversation we've been having with our clients lately that's been really, really effective. So let's say, for example, that a client is looking at a property. Now, by the way, everything that we've been able to accomplish with Done For You Real Estate and with our clients over however many years, including all the transactions we're closing now, we're still in a positive cash flow scenario, even with interest rates being higher, even with prices. Appreciation for the most part in most of the markets is slowing. It's still going up. Rent is going to take a little bit longer to catch up with purchase prices. So rents are rising, but they haven't caught up. Interest rates are high. There's still pent up demand, but there's fear in the market. So as a result, there's just not a super positive cash flow environment. So the question becomes, even if it was negative cash flow, wouldn't it still make sense to invest? And this is just, I share this with you only because it's a conversation we've been having for one primary reason. We found that if we could just have a conversation with clients and shift their mindset a little, they are far more likely to take a step forward. And I think this would be applicable with any of your buyers, whether they're looking at investment real estate or they're even looking at a primary residence. If there's fear, because I don't know if it's I don't know what the market's going to do. All we're trying to do is shift their mindset a little to view real estate through a slightly different set of lenses. And so here's the conversation. If you think about the average American, we are putting, maybe not us, maybe some of us are, but as real estate professionals, we probably are not looking at putting money into a 401k and getting a match from the employer. But for the average American, right, the vast majority of Americans, they are saying, I'm going to retire because I'm going to put money into a 401k, and then I'm going to hope that my employer is going to match that. Every month, when folks like that contribute to a 401k, that is the equivalent of a negative cash flow scenario. From this standpoint, the money is going out of their account into an investment for one reason: time. They feel like over time that is going to pay off for them. They are willing to diminish their income today for the promise of future income. And now what's interesting is we don't look at real estate through that same set of lenses. But if we were to, this is what it would look like. Even if I were to go get a property today, and even if I were going to go $50 or $100 a month negative in terms of negative cash flow, right? My mortgage is higher than the rent that I'm collecting. If we were to put $100 a month, just as an example, into an investment property, we may say, well, I don't want to do that because I'm not getting an employer match. Well, listen, so many people overlook the fact that when you own an investment property and you've got somebody renting that property, somebody is contributing to your retirement, because every month that a successful rent is collected, somebody is paying down your principal, paying your interest, and paying your insurance, right? And and paying your property taxes. You are literally getting a positive contribution to your financial bottom line every month that you rent that property out. So even if I had to go put $100 a month into a property from a negative cash flow standpoint, and even if I had to do that for a couple years, but every month that that property is successfully rented out, I'm getting a positive contribution to my bottom line, as well as the tax benefits, as well as the depreciation opportunities, as well as the appreciation that we should absolutely be seeing in the market. Just like JJ said, there's still appreciation has slowed, but it's not going anywhere. So it's not a negative cash flow. It's a positive retirement real estate contribution. And even when we just have that conversation with someone and we can get them out of the mindset of, I don't want to go negative, so therefore I don't want to invest in real estate, and they start to look at it through a slightly different lens, it lowers the barriers and it lowers kind of the fear that a lot of clients are having in terms of moving forward, which is allowing us to still get people pre-approved, still get them to go and shop for properties, still get them to close. And so helping them understand the context of the market through the Moneyball kind of mentality, as well as just having that conversation and lining real estate up with traditional retirement, has been extremely effective and something that we found has been very, very beneficial. Anything you want to add to that, Steve?
Well, Kev, I love everything that you've been sharing. The other thing that we need to, as real estate agents, as real estate professionals, that we need to help our clients understand is we're not in an abnormal market. What was abnormal was COVID at 2.5% and 3% interest rates. That was abnormal. What normal is 5 to 7% interest rates. What's abnormal is appreciation rates of 10, 12, 15, 20% annually. That is abnormal. A normal market, a historical market, is 3% appreciation. That's the historical norm. We've done nothing but returned to normal. And the reality, the incredible thing is that investing in single family properties over time in a very simple and conservative way at 3% appreciation, at 7% interest rates, you're going to win every single time when you buy in the right market, in the right demographic, the right property. That's the whole entire key to the success of our program over the last 15 years is that it's principle based, and that it works whether the market is way up like it has been, or whether the market was down like back in 2008, 2009, and 10, or whether the market is doing what it is today, which is a very normalized situation. And so what real estate investing does is it opens up the door, opens up the opportunity for conversation. And so, Kev, I don't know if you want to kind of share with the group kind of what we're doing, kind of the value that we hope to bring to the EXP world.
Kevin,
Yeah,
before-
sure. So
Kevin, before we do that, one of the big things that I got out of my presentation with you guys, I'd love to share with the group, is your website, just so people can see the numbers. Because it's like we're talking about numbers, but I'd like to show them the numbers. So I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Yeah.
And then just walk me through, it's done for you. What is it?
It's
DFY-real estate.
DFY-realestate.com.
DFY-real estate. Looks like this.
Yep, that's us.
And
Okay,
then,
so yeah, so if you go to see the properties. So what we do, so we on our website, we are posting recently transacted properties on the regular. Okay. So because of the way that we've kind of constructed our company, we are not a turnkey company, right? From the standpoint of we don't go and buy a bunch of inventory and then like flip that inventory to our clients. What we're doing is we're taking a traditional real estate approach, but teaming it with an entire team that's going to do all the work for our clients, meaning we find somebody that thinks they're invested in real estate. We have a conversation with them. We get them pre-approved. They decide, yeah, maybe I'm going to move forward. And then we help them establish which market would be best, what the property criteria would be. Then we've got teams on the ground in multiple markets where we are then finding them properties. Now, one of the things that we do once we find a property is we send that property through an extensive vetting process. So yeah, if you click jump to properties, and then after our clients close, we post recently transacted properties on our website. So these are all based on actual properties that our clients have purchased or put offers in on. So we're not like listing inventory, right? This is not inventory off the shelf. But if you were to, let's just take that Travis Drive Springs. If you go over and click view, click down there on, yeah. Now, I'm going to have you do one more click. I want you to click that middle button that says 25% down payment. Now, what we put together on every one of our properties is we put together a full property analysis. Now, here's what's really critical about this. We do our clients a disservice if we don't help them understand the value of real estate. And all of us here understand that real estate provides benefit in multiple ways. Yes, there's cash flow. Yes, there's appreciation. Yes, there's tax benefits, but there's also the benefit of time, principal pay down. I mean, there are multiple ways that we make money on real estate. And so what we've tried to do is take all of those numbers and put them into a format that helps clients understand the basics of why investment real estate could be critical. So what you're going to see here, we do a lot of new construction in Florida. This is like Citrus Springs. So it's near Ocala, kind of central Florida. The way that we break these down, and we put these together on every single one of our properties, we call it a property analysis. It's a 10-year snapshot. So if you look at that first number there that says $82,895, that's the total out of pocket. The total out of pocket is comprised of their 25% down payment and the fee that we charge. Just so you guys know, we charge a flat per property fee that goes on the closing documents as a separate buyer paid commission of $6,995. That's what funds the majority of what we do, which is why we can share a big chunk of the real estate commission with somebody like you folks. If you referred your client to us, we would do all the work, but you'd still make 30% on that transaction simply by handing them over to us. So we had to make money in other ways. So we charge that $69.95. So that total out of pocket is down payment, our fee, rehab expenses, prepaid items. We put all that together and say, here's your total out of pocket expense. Then we say, if you hung on to that property for 10 years and we calculate all the gain that's going to come from that property at a really, conservative, like 5% appreciation. If you were to sell that property 10 years from now, we're not necessarily talking about a 1031 exchange yet. We're just saying like money in, money out. If 82,895 went in 10 years from now, 139,000 in profit comes out. That is different from the total capital to reinvest. If you look at that other number, that 222,000, that is the amount that's like part of that down payment coming back. That's the total money that they would walk away from the closing table from. But we want to measure it in terms of investment and profit. Then what we do is we take a look at that total profit and we say, if you were to own this property for 10 years and we were to kind of, take a look at total gain of the property divided by the amount of time that you owned it, that middle number that says $1,165 up there at the top, average monthly increase. That is what this one property is representing for this client. Over $1,100 in average monthly increase. Now, if we want to look at that from just an investment standpoint, the average annualized ROI over a 10-year time frame is 16.87%, all in taking everything into account. Now, a couple other things that we think is super cool. Johnny, will you go to the second page of this thing? Okay, awesome. Now, yeah, right there. I want you to look, everybody, if you could see it, I want you to look at column in year one, and I want you to go down to a bolded number that says $416. This is, I get so pumped up, you guys. This is so cool. Okay, so if you want to look at net monthly cash flow on this property, it's $94 a month. Big whoop. Nobody's going to write home about that. Nobody's going to a cocktail party and high-fiving their friend like $94 in cash flow. I'm an amazing real estate investor. But if you look at the actual financial real-time, real dollar benefit that this property represents, you are taking into account monthly cash flow and principal reduction that's being paid by your tenant and the estimated tax savings from depreciation. And you put all that together, and now you are in a positive $416 a month scenario just in year one on an $82,000 investment. And if you look at that number, now your cash on cash return is like 10%. Like, who else is doing that? Where else can somebody get that? But real estate allows it to happen. And so when we have that conversation with people and they go, holy cow, I can have that kind of benefit, but you guys are going to do the majority of the work. When we talk to agents and we say, agents, you already have this amazing, successful business, but you also have people in your list that would love to invest in real estate, but maybe where you live locally, it doesn't work. They can get referred to a company like ours. And now you are benefiting, your client is benefiting from this view of real estate, from these type of properties in these kinds of markets. Is that what you wanted me to kind of go over, Johnny? Is that good?
Have you guys seen anything like this before? No, pretty incredible, right? This is something that we could definitely use with our clients who are like, man, I want 500. I can't afford the $750,000 rental. It's not going to cash flow. Well, shoot, how much do you have down? Oh, I got about 200 grand. All right, let's explore some of their options. And then you get a referral fee. And then in 3 to 5 years, you get another referral fee. And then a couple years after that, you get 2 more referral fees. You can see how this can compound over time. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah, we are running short on time, Kevin, but was there anything
Yeah, no
else
worries.
on?
Yeah, I was just going to say last thing, if you guys will, and I'll put it in the chat. If you go to dfy4exp.com, so we just barely scratched the surface, you guys. There is so much that we can help you understand and train you on, and conversations we can give you. So we do a webinar twice a week on Tuesdays and on Thursdays. And if you go to dfy4exp.com, there's a little 3-minute video. Watch that video. If you register for the webinar, Steve and I go a little bit deeper in talking about the program and what it represents. And then we have a free certification that is just kind of a virtual training. If you want to do that, you could also come into the office where we will give you everything you need to be able to market this to your clients and to be able to use this as a part of your existing business, just tacking it onto what you're already doing. But if you go to dfy4exp.com, you can just register for the webinar. Like I said, they're usually Tuesdays at 10, and coming up today. And just so you guys know, full disclosure, it feels live. It's not live. This is a pre-recorded webinar. It just allows us to automate this part of our business, but you're going to want to attend. It's a live environment. We will still interact with you, but Steve and I are not the ones, so we're not speaking live, but we can interact with you. But any of you, however we could serve you in your business, go to dfy4exp.com, come to the webinar, take a look at the free certification that we have, and then we can just spend time with you. We just want to help you guys crush it in whatever way you can by adding this potentially to what you're doing. And so we're so thankful to be able to hang out with you guys and share this. This is just awesome. You guys are such an amazing team.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin and Steve. Guys, give them a round of applause. We'll put that link in the on the Brent Gove page. You guys can see it right now. You can write it down, and then yeah. So we'll be in touch with you guys on that. We do have. I know we're running short on time, but we do have one more speaker. That if you like this is going to go hand in glove with today's next speaker. So please welcome to the front of the room, Mr. Mark Bowens.
Cards. I'm old school. I don't do that stuff up there.
We'll take one, pass it around.
Yeah, take one, pass one around. Thanks to Johnny. He got it the other day when I had a 3-minute conversation. I won't waste your time. I'm an old guy. And old guys got, you got the wisdom side of things and the knowledge side of things. So the last 3 years, I got to hang with young guys, and I got to do a lot of listening. They got all the knowledge. The old guys got the wisdom, right? Moved up here in the 80s from San Luis Obispo. You know where that's from? You got a powerful engineer. You got it right. Here we go. So just life, I'm showing you life. August 17th, 2020. I met some guys here locally, you see working out parks, F3, changed my life. I'm out in the parks working out 4:30 to 6 every morning, 6 days a week. Changed my life. It's all about attitude, get stuff done. That right there, buried my dad 6 weeks ago. 97 years old, World War II Navy veteran gunner. Amazing, we had a very amazing ceremony. I got to visit with him on his deathbed for 4 days, and he went out good, he went out strong. Someday asked me what he said the most important decision he ever made in his life was, and I'll tell you, on his deathbed. Keep going. This is my granddaughter right here. You guys go to Jasmine's Donuts, any of you ever? Yeah, I got her a donut one morning. Adopted by one of my daughters when my daughter was single.
Wow.
Amazing little girl. I mean, there's my two grandsons right there. Last 3 games, they got 6 at-bats each. They went 17 for 18. Good kids. All right, next. There's my family right there. That's what it's all about right there, guys. Let me tell you what we teach out in the gloom for men. You got to get right. You got to live right. You got to lead right. And then you get to leave right. That's what I said at my dad's memorial. Next. Yeah, we'll come back to that one.
That's all you said.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
You don't have a battery? We're good. So let me tell you why I'm here. I did real estate back in the day. I was always under the radar. I'm one of those guys. Limelight works sometimes. I got a Facebook account. I don't do it. I know what you guys are doing, but I don't do mine. You know, Facebook is really that real? Really isn't that real, is it? Maybe. I guess some guys use it for marketing. I moved up here in the 80s from San Luis Obispo. That's where I buried my dad. You guys know where Cayucas Morro Bay is?
I do, yeah.
Buried him right there at Cayucas, that cemetery. We got property down there. I get to go see my grandkids in a couple of weeks. Here's the deal. I moved up here in the 80s because I saw an opportunity in this Loomis Basin right in here. How many houses you think I built? Tom Davis was my broker 40 years ago.
50?
Yeah, right. 250 houses. Me and a foreman.
Wow.
So sometimes when you talk to old guys, maybe they've done some stuff, right? Maybe. I always talk to old guys. My uncle, he was the pilot World War II. He just turned 100 last week. I like old guys. I'm fun to talk to. 100, he was pilot, Navy pilot. My dad was a gunner. Missouri farm boys knew how to shoot squirrels. Permits, what do you think? I hear all these stories. You all this stuff. What do you think I paid for permits in Placer County when I was in the 80s? $700 for 1,900 square foot permits. I can't relate to what you guys are doing. Can't even relate to it. I went in when they put school fees on them. I went in and fought with the superintendent, said, I don't want to pay these. Prime, 1983, interest rates had a construction loan, 2 over prime. You know what prime got to? 21 and a half. Been there, done that. This program right here that you're going to see changed my life the last 7 months. I'm going to show it how I believe it can impact you, but I get it. Everybody doesn't get it sometimes. I get it. Yeah, I can't believe the people I've talked to the last 7 months. I got a 2-year run on it, and I learned something at your real estate seminar the other day. The guy said, you got to connect with people. That's skill. I got a call yesterday. They want to put me on a stage in Houston. I got an offer to be on a stage in Houston in front of 1,100 business owners, 600 business owners, 1,100 people. I haven't been on stage in 20 years. I'm practicing on you. Cost me 10 grand to be on that stage. I learned something at your real estate seminar. Connect, confident, close. I used to be a very confident person. 2008, anybody else get damaged? I did. None of you did in 2008. You guys were kids. You don't even know what that market was.
Yeah.
I own real estate. You know what happened to real estate? It went down 40%. So what you're looking at right here, I also like guys that do it, get out and do it. In the last 6 months, I moved $140 million. I believe we'll move over $1 billion way before I thought we would. Here's the program. And here's the way I heard it. My nephew called me February last year. He said, I got this program. You need to look at it. I was not interested. Employee retention credit program. I wasn't interested. He said, you don't get paid for 4 months. It's an IRS program. That made me nervous, right? IRS, I don't want to work with them. Every morning going to my morning workouts, I heard an attorney on the radio. You ever heard of a guy, if any of you guys listen to sports stuff, Moskowitz and Associates? He's on all the time. He was my attorney when he lived in Sacramento, and he was promoting this program in San Francisco, and he's on the radio every morning. Hello, this is a grant. You do not have to pay it back. And I'm listening. I'm like, okay. My nephew finally got a hold of me around August, and I'm like, this guy doesn't know how to work. He's a multimillionaire. The reason why he got into the program is because his accountant would not get him the money. That's why third parties are doing this. This is a big difference than the PPP. When you were getting when the PPP money was floating around, you walked in the bank, and what did the bank say to you? Did you get your PPP money yet? They were getting paid to move the money. Nobody is moving the ERC money. That's why third parties originated. My nephew was in a multi-millionaires club. They own a lot of real estate. Their group, one of the guys said, I'm putting a company together. That company right now is the #2 company in America behind Paycheck. It's called ERC Specialists, moving $1 billion every 6 weeks. They got 386 people that are doing it right. Attorney generals are on the board. That's where my nephew was at. He wanted to get money. You know about rich people, they just want to get more. And he was bugged that his accountant wasn't getting him the money. What's the program? Here's the program. Keep it simple. If you had employees in 2020, the last 3 quarters, you get $5,000 for that employee. If you had an employee the first 3 quarters of 2021, you get $7,000 per quarter per employee, $26,000 total. That's the program. Here's what I like about the program. Well, let me tell you, I went to one of the accountants I work out in the morning, very conservative guy, gone to church with him for 9 years. Before I started working it, I said, what do you think about the ERC program? He said, I love it. Our church got 150,000, but I won't work it. Exactly what my nephew's accountant said, because I feel like it's a conflict of interest for me to get paid to help my people get money. But I'll give you referrals. First referral he got me was a tow truck driver in Reno, getting him 1.2 million. He gave me a gravel place down the road, 2.1 million. I got a call 2 weeks ago from a guy in Wyoming, Clayton. He said, hey, I took my rock crusher from Wyoming to Reno, went out to dinner with these guys, and they said, you can help me. We're told we don't qualify in Wyoming. He's getting $285,000. You can't make this stuff up. This program works. So my attorney in Lincoln, I went in there, I said, you know about ERC? He goes, I'm hearing all these ads. You guys hear any ads about ERC?
Yeah.
You see them on TikTok? You think that's where businessmen are going? Or they want to talk to people, right? Then they got to call you a liar. And the point is that all those ads are teeing them up for us. When I first started, I heard everybody had done it. Not true. Not true at all. 16% of the small businesses have done it right now. 90% of small businesses qualify. It's 1 to 500 employees. Please bring the thoughts. You're approved in 7 days. You call in. It auto-populates when you call in. It's very easy to qualify. It's a questionnaire. Here's what changed in the program. Here's what you're going to hear out there. My accountant said I didn't qualify. When the program first came out, it was based on your income going down from 2019 to 20 and 2021. They couldn't get rid of the money. There's $450 billion in this program sitting there. That's why third parties got involved. Hello, America. Here's how you qualify now. Was there a government mandate in your area that impacted your business?
Yeah.
Were you impacted by the supply chain?
Yeah.
You fill out that questionnaire. Here's where the game's in compared to PPP. You load up your payroll summary for those 6 quarters, your 941s. I didn't know what a 941 is. Now I'm an expert. 941 for 6 quarters. They load them up and that's what you're qualified on. If you 1099 people, you don't qualify. If you're paying cash under the table, you don't qualify. That only worked when you rely on about PPP money. Right? Everybody played that game. What I like about this, it is cut and dry. Now, I'll say this, second stage PPP, if you got that, that was supposed to go towards payroll, that will impact the amount you get. Tom,
I've got to run, but I've
Get
known
outta here.
Mark for a long time. He's reputable, trustworthy, and he called me up a month ago. He said, have you heard about ERC? I've heard something about it. He said, it's super simple. I've put him in contact with my office manager, Stephanie. She filled out 7 questions, 7 questions. Boom. We're getting 100, that's my company, Sacramento Metro Properties, getting 122,739.90. Okay, so I've put the word out, and now all of you, if you didn't have employees, that's okay. You have contacts, clients, and friends that have employees. So I called up my HVAC company, Dad, called him up with Mark. And I said, Dad, have you heard of this? He goes, yeah, my accountant said that, that's, don't waste your time. Well, anyway, we just talked to him and he's taking advantage of it. So I've got to go. I mean, it's great for you guys to get more business, connect, and it's a service for your clients and for your business. So.
got you.
Thanks, Tom.
Can I go 4 minutes? You guys good?
Yep.
4 more minutes? I'm gonna tell you to use this in your program. Thanks, Tom. By the way, got me on a call last Friday night with this AC guy, this Thad. He's smart. You know what he does? He just shuts up. People clutter this thing up. Hey, Thad, what's up? You understand? Yeah, I've heard of it. My account says I didn't qualify. My answer, your account was 100% right. Program changed. Documents loaded up on Monday, right? 10 employees, how much money is he getting? $250,000. Oh, but his accountant was on the phone with my partner. And he said, you guys pay a little, buy me a cup of coffee? Wasn't quite like that. I've got a nonprofit that's got 100 employees. They're going to be getting 2.5 million. One phone call. You can't make this one up. Here's what I'll tell you with your clients. Go out and bless your clients. And I had a trigger when I was driving here this morning. I used to go to all the real estate seminars trying to figure it out. Brian Buffini, wasn't he a guy?
Yeah.
That told you guys how to stay in front of people. You buy a little rake for them in March and you buy them Valentine's stuff in February. You know how to get in front of your business clients? Right here. What happens if you get a little restaurant owner? These are my funnest ones. It's got 6 employees and you get them 150 grand. Would that help with the down payment on their next property?
Absolutely.
All of you know people, and I see a lot, you can create the down payments for the people with it. That guy's just on the phone there. Get out of the way. I had a conference call with Brent Gove on Saturday. I used to radio, I've been on Brent's radio shows. ERC, I love. I'm going to build ERC with this program. I'll say it in front of you. What Gene Frederick say? Anybody on his call yesterday? Gene Frederick said?
No.
None of you were on there. I got on. He said, if a guy doesn't have a big vision not to do what? You remember? Don't follow him. Don't follow. Don't waste your time. I have 1,000 EXP agents on my team in the next 2 years with this program. You know why? I could build a warm relationship with brokers with this. Anybody tracking with me on the clients you've got that you can go out there and say, right here, he got me on the phone with his, insurance,
Yeah.
State Farm Insurance. Guy calls up. Hey, how you doing? The first name, Trevor. Signed up yesterday. 4 employees. Cup of coffee, right? Not a big deal. He's getting 100 grand. What was your statement the other day to me? You're his
Realtor for life.
You're his realtor for life. You're his realtor for life. You got him 100 grand. Are you kidding me? Here's when I say bless people, and I believe in putting it on the street. I live in Rockland. You know, daycare over there by the UPS driving place. There's been a daycare there forever. I walked in because I believe in putting it on the street before I go after the big boys. I said, you guys work the program yet? We've tried 4 different companies. I said, call my partner. My partner a couple of weeks later said, do you understand what you did for them? Husband and wife team, building a daycare, blah, blah, blah. He said, you got him $165,000. Rockland Auto, they're getting, I think, 135. You can't make this stuff up, guys. It's a quick qualifying process. They're waiting 16 to 18 weeks for their checks from the IRS. So I'm just telling you, get people in touch with us, work on lists, build it. You want to play big boy ball? I hear all the stories, all the seminars, all the big guys. I was big ones. 250 houses, me and a foreman, no payroll. We subbed it all out. And we rolled hard and we rolled fast. I was young and I had energy. I got one more run in me. This thing here, you get in front of the big boys. One of the guys that signed up with us, do you understand there's guys that have franchises, they own more than one?
Yeah.
39 Domino's. So we're using his name out there with franchises. They were on the phone yesterday with a guy that owns 66 of them. There's people being blessed out there that don't know about this program. Just because you've heard the radio ads doesn't make it so. And so I'm saying with your clients, lock them in if they're business clients. And even if they're not, go out and make friends with people. The funnest, excuse me, guy walked out of Starbucks today and he had a window cleaning place. He said, my accountant told me I didn't qualify. I said, give me a call. How many employees you got? 2. I said, you can get 50,000 bucks. Big deal for me, right? 50,000 for his window cleaning business. That's when you start blessing people. You know, Tom, we've known each other for years. Tom's going to get listings for me. And it's going to be amazing. But I got a question for you guys, because you guys are all in the business world. What do you think of the back end of this thing looks like? And by the back end, I mean, we've moved $140 million. I got a question, but what are those people going to do with that when they get those checks? Do you think there'd be, excuse me? It'd be great if you guys used it to put it back into real estate. That'd be your ticket. My point is, what are they going to do with it? And I might have some partners out there be willing to help them. $1 billion. I've never been around that kind of money in my life. Government funded. We approve them in 7 days. Why are we different? There's a lot. I was on a call this week. Sorry, just one more story. I promise you. I was on a call this week because I'm not afraid when I get in a role. Guy calls me up on Memorial Day weekend. You know, when most of your guys, the national sales director who knows me now, he said that he said this out the other day. You know, when most your big money's made early in the morning or after hours or on the weekends. Is there any truth in that? Guy calls me on Memorial Day weekend and he says, I need to talk to you. Long story short, this company got PPP money for 4.6 million clients, and they've been approached by ERC people. And here's what the guy said, that he said, there's a lot of bad players out there. I choose not to go that direction. You with me? Straight up, talk to people straight up, tell them the real story. And so there was a call that was made, and I say between the two motherships, right? Our company and them, because that's way above my pay grade. How would you handle that kind of volume? I'd like to see them pull it out, get a referral fee, right? My point is, this is too big, guys. You could go, you think everybody in Wheatland's heard about this program? I can't hit the street fast enough.
Who knew about this program before today? Okay, who here has been using it as a leverage to point to get in front of business owners and talk to clients before today? Right?
Guys, here's a leverage right here. 1 second. Your AC guy that he's going to get $250,000 for, it's not even about him. He's locked in that client. But when that guy's replacing an air conditioning system and that guy says, we're getting ready to sell, so we had to replace it, he's going to say, I'm going to tell you who to call. Tom Daves, right? Your insurance guy has got all kinds of clients. He knows you because you got him 100 grand. Every one of those clients he's going to refer to you.
Absolutely.
Guys, we're not locking these people in with tiddlywinks. We're building relationships with literally tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars. I got a nonprofit funding this week, True Stories. I like stories because they sell. Nonprofit in Fresno. I think it's a Boys and Girls Club. 100 employees. They're getting 2.6 million. It's funding as we speak. $2.6 million. I got texts yesterday from churches. Mark, the 65,000, another guy got 135,000, not a lot of employees. It changed the whole trajectory of our church. You guys with me? So utilize this. I apologize. I got, anyhow.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And guys, look us up, utilize it, build a list. Friends and family, you can utilize this.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we went along today. Thank you so much for coming. We'll see you next week.